Hey, my cat loving friends. We want to introduce you today to Adam Baker. He is the founder of sodapup.com. Yeah, pup, but there's some stuff in there you really need for your cats that we recommend at almost every behavior session. So stay tuned and we'll fill you in on the details. Hello, welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, here with my lovely ride or die BFF co-host extraordinaire, Rita Reimers.
You
How you
forgot to
doing?
say you forgot to say I'm your work wife too.
And my work wife. Yes, my husband said it about 15 minutes ago, if that counts.
I know. So
Yes,
I am so excited to talk to our guest today because we recommend his products all the
all
time
the time.
during our
And
behavior
we each
sessions.
have some and we love them. So yeah, so
Hmm.
should we bring him in? All right.
Go ahead.
Welcome, Adam Baker. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Yeah,
It's
thank
our
you.
pleasure.
I'll tell you, we normally steer away from anything that looks dog centric,
Sure.
but we have been telling everybody lick mat is a lick mat is a lick mat as long as it's good construction, safe quality.
Hmm.
And we have been pushing your lick mats because they help with scarf and barf.
Yeah.
They help with enrichment. If you've got that crazy cat that has a lot of energy, it helps when we have a cat that is scarfing their food and then stealing the other cat's food. It
Yes.
helps slow them down. I mean, we're prescribing these things left and right. So tell us about your company and when you started it and give us the deets.
Yeah. So I'm a corporate refugee. I left my corporate life when I was 50 years old. Felt like I was too young to retire, still had young kids at home. And so I wanted to make myself useful. And I had worked for some amazing entrepreneurs and kind of wondered whether I had the right stuff. So I started this business in my basement,
Wow.
originally making rubber dog toys. And we started in 2013 and we've been growing steadily ever since. And within the last year and a half, 2 years, we extended our business into enrichment products. And wow,
Yes.
it's been stunning to watch how this business has grown with enrichment products.
Yeah.
Sure. And people are looking more and more for things that are made in the USA. I think that that is the main reason that people love your site, besides the fact that the lick mats are very well constructed.
Yes. And you got into going into the USA thing. So I was reading like you've got all these factories working together. You've kind of created your own little USA made system from
I
start to
love it.
finish. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of
So,
times we see it's assembled in the USA, but where did the stuff come from, right? So you are
right.
made in the USA.
So, my first career, I was actually an officer in the Coast Guard. And
Oh,
then
cool.
after 5 years in the service, I went back and got an MBA. And then I worked in the sporting goods industry. So I spent 20 years making apparel and footwear for Nike, Under Armour, Crocs, and it was all made overseas. So when I started this business, I thought, there's got to be a way to make these types of products. And, we make molded products.
Right.
And there are barriers to making molded products in the US because the molds are quite expensive. But once you've got the mold, it's a somewhat automated process. And so it's the type of thing that I figured we ought to be able to make in the US if we can overcome, the initial mold costs.
Yeah.
And so we've been very, very committed to being 100% American made from the very beginning. And it's why we don't make certain types of products because, plush toys that require a lot of manual labor, that would be very difficult
Right.
to make in the US. So we've been focused on 100% USA manufacturing from the beginning. And we produce, in Pennsylvania, Illinois, Minnesota, Colorado.
I love it.
And, it just continues to grow. And it just goes to show if you're committed to something, you can find a way.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I'm
has
also
that-
I'm sorry. I'm
Go
also a
ahead.
corporate refugee. I retired from the corporate life at age 45
Yeah.
to stick with my passion. And it really doesn't, I mean, some days it's harder work than others, but the fact that you're working so hard, doing something you're passionate about makes a big difference in your life.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
I've got no regrets. you know, I made sacrifices in terms of my compensation, but I'm having the time of my life, and we're building a great little business. And, you know, we get to create jobs in our local community. And, you know, there's so
Yeah.
many other types of rewards that I get
Sure.
from doing this. So,
Yes.
plus
And
I
we
love
will-
making stuff. It's just really fun.
That's the fun.
Sure.
I get it. We get
Yeah.
that, right? Because we
Mhm.
enjoy what we do, and that makes all the difference in the
It
world.
really does. It really
Yeah.
does, especially when you're working long days. When you're first starting a company, you feel like you're working all the time, but it's for a greater purpose, and
Yes.
it gives you a lot of self-satisfaction.
Yes. And we have a lot of clients that are dog and cat. We tease a lot because we're the
Yes.
cat-focused company, but we
Linda's
have a
got a
lot of
dog.
in fact, I have a dog, but she's not one to worry about your super chewer. She's a little chihuahua who's only lived with cats and has an identity crisis. She doesn't even know she's a dog. So we won't
Probably the
concern
smallest
her with
animal in the house.
She is. She's smaller than most of the cats. Yeah, I think there's only two that are smaller than she is. So we don't really count. We just always like, and you have a dog, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. But I have a friend who has a super chewer, and I've heard the angst, so I know where to send her. With your toys that are so durable, and then there's the safety, right? So
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like the lick mat. So the lick mats serve an amazing, and you're talking about the molds costing. I don't know how many you have because you have some really cool designs.
You
which,
really do.
granted, this is for the people I know. I got a hot pink flower one that I'm obsessed with. But we've also told clients, you know, if you've got a cat, most cats are very, very smart. Not all of them. Some of them struggle a little more. So I told them, you know, try to go with something bigger like the honeycomb design.
That I had to use that for my Sweetie because she's not
Yeah.
too bright.
Yeah, she's a couple fries short of half, you know, God bless her heart. So but they're very, very thick. They're very, very
Mhm.
durable. You
Sturdy.
can fold it in half and squeeze it. I understand it's made to all the FDA guidelines, and
Yep.
you're very careful in using the right things in there.
Talk about your favorite aspect of that. You haven't talked about that. She
This
loves
is the
that little.
dumbest thing on ever, but
that
I
little
love
hole.
the stupid little hole in the corner. I have these little hooks on the side of my cabinets that are right over the sink, so I can hang it to drain it. It's the dumbest little part of it, but I'm obsessed
That's
with
her
this little
favorite
hole.
part.
Well, you know, it's actually it's not dumb. Everything is by design. So
Sure.
first of all, let me tell you why they are the way that they are.
Okay.
So we tested, before I got into this category, I tested a lot of the products in the market. And honestly, most of them were disappointing. And they're disappointing for a couple of reasons. One is my dog that I was testing it with, who is food obsessed. It was my black lab buddy. He could lick most of those mats clean in about 5 minutes. So I thought, well, you know, if I'm on a Zoom call for 45 minutes to an hour, I got to keep this dog busy for longer.
Slow him down.
So the first thing we wanted to do was make mats that were more difficult so that it would actually provide more enrichment, would last longer, and so on.
Yeah.
The second thing we didn't like about the mats in the market is that they were really floppy. And so when you put them in the dishwasher, they would get deformed. They didn't hold up well. If you are freezing the product, which is a trick that we use with dogs, you can actually smear food into the surface, put it in the freezer, and it extends the licking time. And it's
Oh,
great
that's
on a hot
cool.
day because, you know, dogs and cats, they cool themselves through their tongues.
Right.
Yeah.
So we kind of started with this list of what we didn't like. And then it was, okay, how can we make these better? So first, make them in the USA. We more than doubled the weight, so that the amount of material is double what most of our competitors are producing. So it's a much more rigid, much more durable product. It holds up better in the wash. And then you hit the nail on the head about the designs. We actually don't design things for dogs and cats. We design things for people, and they work great for dogs and cats.
Yes, we get that.
Understand that. Yep.
So, you know, we were very focused on creating fun patterns that would, you know, create an emotional connection with consumers, so that they would buy it, right?
Yeah.
So we have a very wide array of patterns, and they have different levels of difficulty because not all dogs, not all cats have the same food drive.
Right.
And so,
Correct.
or the same intelligence. So you kind of have to match the product and the pattern to the pet that's going to be using it. So we've actually created, you know, simple designs, moderate level of difficulty, very difficult, so you can match that with your pet.
That's
The
awesome.
hole in the corner comes back to the fact that I hate packaging. Packaging is such a waste.
Mhm.
And, it costs a lot of money. It costs, the labor to put it on, and it gets thrown away.
And
So,
yes, exactly. Our world is full of trash.
right.
Yes.
So I
It's
thought, well,
true.
if I put a hole in the corner of the mat, then I can reduce the amount of packaging required for this product. So rather than having a box and putting it in a box, now we just put a simple belly band, a
Mhm.
paper belly band around it,
Yeah.
and then it hangs by the corner in the store, by the hole.
Nice.
And so really, and this is true with all of our packaging, we've got all these innovative packaging solutions to try to reduce waste and also to make the shipping more affordable and
Sure.
cost conscious. So
Right.
because we don't have all this extraneous packaging, you can actually fit more in a box. So that reduces your corrugate. It reduces,
Yeah.
we ship pallet loads of product to different customers.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it reduces the amount of pallets. It reduces your carbon footprint because it's fewer trucks carrying fewer pallets.
Nice.
So, this one little innovation can have these, huge downstream effects.
Yes.
So anyway, that's how
Well, but
we,
there's so many crevices. It's, you can't just sit there and try to dry. I guess you could. I don't have the patience or the time for that. So I was like, oh, I've got these hooks right here. I'll just hang it and it just dries. I don't
Yeah.
have to leave the dish drainer out on the sink. Nothing. I was obsessed. And yeah, we have, believe me, Rita and I have touched just about every product out there. And I was very shocked. This feels like 2 or 3 lick
Yeah.
mats, not one. And
Very,
it was a
very
nice,
sturdy.
solid, heavy. And when we talked about it on social media, I was obsessed with like bending it in half. Like you
Yeah.
can't break this or crease it. So
I
you
love
know,
the no
animals can be
box
tough on
shipping.
stuff. Yes.
You
Yeah.
know how
it's
many
actually-
Chewy
it's
boxes I
very
have in
cool.
my garage right now? A
And you can
lot.
buy our products there too.
Oh, that's awesome. They are available on Chewy. Good to know. Good to know. Yes. Well, and now I see you've got the bowls that are similar to this.
Yeah, so we started in the lick mat category, and then I thought to myself, there's got to be like it's a nascent category, right? People
Yeah.
are just kind of learning about lick mats and about
Yeah.
enrichment in general, and it's actually much bigger in other countries. We do a massive business in Australia, for instance,
Nice.
where there's a lot of
Nice.
enrichment activity.
Mhm.
And the same in Western Europe. So I think the US is actually lagging behind. But in terms of product development, there's just lick mats and there's not a lot else. And so I
Yeah.
thought, well, and there are slow feeder bowls,
Mhm.
but most of the research shows that slow feeder bowls are ineffective at slowing down a dog. That's where the research has been done.
Right.
And so I thought, okay, we need to make a slow feeder bowl that is more difficult than any other slow feeder bowl out
Yes,
there.
please.
And that's how we got to the honeycomb design, where there are these small segments where most dogs can't actually fit their nose in the segment. So they have to get down there with their tongue
Okay.
and
Yeah.
really work at it. So
Yeah.
on one end of the spectrum, we have our lick mats. On the other end of the spectrum, you have this slow feeder bowl called the honeycomb. We have 2 more designs coming, so
Good.
stay tuned.
Yay.
I'll have to
Yay.
check them
And-
out.
And then we started to fill in the middle. So one of the complaints we got specific to dogs was that they were chewing, a lick mat is made from a soft material. It's thin, so it can be chewed up if you're not
Yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah.
And so we thought, okay, well, maybe we can make an enrichment device that would be much more durable, that a dog couldn't destroy.
Mhm.
And so we made a product that we call an e-coin. It's a 5-inch diameter licking device.
My mom's dogs
Love
need
it.
that.
I'm thinking
Especially
a lot of people
Faith.
that need this. Yeah, no
I s-
kidding.
I see
So here's
Oh,
Christmas
that's
one.
presents.
wonderful.
So this is called, I don't know if you can see that, it's called
Yeah.
Earth. So we have Earth, we have air, and we have water.
Very cool.
And I need to work on a fire, so I cover all the elements.
Yes,
But
you
you
do.
can see, this is the same thing. It's a lick mat, but it's much
Yes.
smaller. So
Yes.
this is actually ideal for cats
Yeah, it
because
is.
because of the size.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, that
and
would be good for cats because they wouldn't have the whisker fatigue.
you took it out of my
isn't-
head. Cats are getting whisker fatigue from eating out of bowls that are too
Mhm.
deep. They're hitting their whiskers on the sides of the bowls. So you give
I'm
them a
gonna
lick
have to,
mat.
I'm gonna have to check that out for all of my cats.
Yeah, you give them a lick mat. It's enrichment. It's slowing them down, and it's not getting whisker stress.
I may have to buy
Yeah.
16 of those, one
And
for
you-
each
There
cat.
you go. And then we created another product called an e-tray, which would also be great for cats. And this is a segmented slow feeder.
That's
perfect.
beautiful. I love
So
that.
that would actually probably be better than our
That's
other kibble
perfect.
bowl because
Yes.
it's
It'd
shallower.
be good for kibble.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's shallow. It's got the lotus design with all the petals. So I will
Yeah.
tell you, we just
I
had a
want
client a few
that.
days ago. Oh, that one's like a maze. I love these. Look at the frog. They
Isn't that
even have
fun?
holiday ones up now. They've got
Yes, we
Halloween
do.
mats.
Wait, wait. We need to let him talk so the camera goes back to him so we can see it.
Oh, sorry. So this
we
is
saw
we call
that.
this an e-tray. This is a shallow segmented tray, which would be perfect for cats because it's shallower than a traditional slow feeder bowl, which might be a little too deep
Right.
for a cat.
And the other
So
one?
we've got several designs and we're working on more.
That's cool.
See how difficult these are.
Yes.
And then
Those
we
are
have
up right now. Are those on the site right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then I
Oh,
love
I like.
These are
This-
so cool.
this is a lick mat and it's got suction cups on the back.
How
So you can
smart.
stick it
I
against the fridge
love-
or against the glass. Or,
Well, and I'll tell you, elevated eating is a big thing. You could
Yep.
suction cup that to a short table, a step stool, something so that they're elevated and cleaning it off.
Okay, this is going to be my new obsession, collecting these.
I'm telling you, I know, especially when I saw holiday designs. You know how I am with the holidays. It's
I
terrible. My
know.
husband is really going to roll his eyes and give me a Linda. But I will tell you, Adam, we had a client a few days ago. We were just dying laughing. She's got two cats.
Oh, yeah.
One is super food obsessed, like scarfs it down and looking for more. The other one is a grazer, eat a little, walk away, eat a little, walk away. So of course, food obsessed cat eats the grazer's food.
yeah, I've got
So
that.
she bought one of those slow feeder gravity things. The cat learned to stick his paw up and pull the
Pull it
food
down.
So then
Really?
she bought some of those, and these things are not cheap, like $200 range.
Yeah, chip
The chip feeder where the chip is on, so only the chip, and they bought it only for the slow cat. So the slow cat can go over and open it, and the scarf my food down cat can't do it. Well, the scarf my food down cat has started meowing pitifully at the other cat until the other cat walks over and goes, puts the chip up there and holds her head up. So
And then the cat has to stand there while the other cat eats, otherwise it'll close, right?
That's
we were
amazing.
just
They're too
dying
smart.
laughing. So we prescribed a lick mat for the wet food, but I think we need to reach out to them and tell them about that. Yeah,
I
those
do.
bowls,
I do
because
too.
those are perfect for slowing that cat down. We get a lot of that. This cat scarfs, the other cat's a grazer, but then this cat eats all of the other cat's food and is now 80 pounds, right? So
Right.
Well, the other thing too is I'm trying to cut down on how much dry food I give my cats. So having something like that makes them work for it more. They'll eat less of it.
yeah, we worked for Richard Simmons. We know you got to give it time to settle into your stomach. So by slowly eating, they're going to feel fuller. They're also going to burn off. Cats have an insatiable prey drive,
Yeah.
and hunting for their food and working to get it just feeds into everything that's natural for them.
We got to take a little break
It's
here.
actually great for them in terms of mental stimulation. There's also other benefits because licking produces saliva. Saliva helps digestion.
True. Yeah.
So, and you're just slowing them down, which helps digestive health as well. So,
For sure.
Yes.
Let's take
Yeah.
a little
it has
break
a soothing
and
effect.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Hold on. We got to take a break. We're in
I
the
have to take a
middle.
little
We'll come
break
right
and we'll
back.
be right
I
back.
mean, certainly, I don't research. I do.
And we're back with 19 Cats and Counting and Adam Baker from Soda Pup. What were we just discussing before we had to go
so
to
you're
break?
saying helps with saliva production, digestion.
Yeah, and then licking also has a soothing effect on both cats and dogs. So, if your cat is high strung, just the act of licking will release endorphins and help calm them down.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. And we've gotten a few cats that may or may not have pica. We are not veterinarians, but it just sounds like pica, and they're chewing on things. And we thought, we could slow them down eating and give them more time with that. Maybe they would be less likely to go try to chew on other things that are in
Right.
the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the crazy cats. I've got a cat here. His name is Deadpool. He was my son-in-law's cat, and he lives up to his name. I owe my son-in-law big time for this cat. He's just such a brat. But it's just he's that kid that if he gets bored, he gets into trouble all the time, like stuck up my chimney. So we're just
Yeah.
constantly,
Wow.
he's not really a scarfer, but we need to keep him enriched. We need to keep him intellectually stimulated all the time. So we also get a lot of people that say their cats wake them up at 5 a.m. acting like they've never eaten in their lives. And
Mhm.
we've suggested putting out some sort of puzzle toy food treat, something so that they can work at it, come and go. And when they wake up, because dusk and dawn for cats, right? Crepuscular. So when they wake up in dawn, they'll have something they can sit and work on, and will take them quite a bit of time before they go wake the humans.
Yep. No, it's
Have you-
great. This enrichment world is, I'm an expert at making enrichment products. I'm not an expert on the enrichment itself,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's been a real eye opener for us, and we get a ton of requests for cat products.
I bet.
So
Yeah.
there's clearly a big and growing market there.
There
You
is.
need to put some kitties on your website.
Yes, we need more kitties represented.
We
Represent our
do.
kitties, baby. We're gonna give you a rough time about that, but no, they're amazing. And getting that prey builds a cat's confidence. We tell our clients all the time, especially if they've got warring cats, no cat wants to fight. They're fighting because they're scared. It's fight or flight, right? But they both come from the same place. And the more they can catch their prey, the more confidence they build, and the
That's
less
true.
likely they're going to be to jump on fight or flight. And that's where all of these enrichment things come in. So, I mean, there's a multitude of reasons these things are amazing. And, they've done so much good. I probably 90% of our clients we talk to, for one reason or another, either the cat is too hyper or the cat is eating too fast or whatever, we're like, do you know about lick mats?
Lick mats and puzzle feeders are the two things we recommend the most.
Yes. And we
Yep.
tell our clients all the time, the dog ones are the same as the cat ones. We see a lot more variety in the dog ones. So don't be
Sure.
afraid to go look in the dog section. I promise your cat won't hate you. My cats have not held it against me.
One of the things we've done is offer multiple sizes. So the Flower Power mat that you've been showing, that's the smaller size, the 5x7. So we make the 5x7, we make an 8x8, which is a larger size. The other nice thing is when you create a more complex pattern, you're upping the challenge, but you're not necessarily upping the calories. So oftentimes people associate, if you have a bigger dog, you need a bigger mat. And I'm like, no, not really. You just need a more difficult mat, because otherwise
sure.
your dog is going to turn into,
Yes.
become overweight. So, you talked about the cat that has high food drive versus the one who doesn't. The nice thing is that you can actually satisfy their need to be eating without actually delivering too much food.
Yes, exactly. Well, it takes him, 3 times, 4 times longer to get it out of his lick mat. The other cat's got time to eat his food. So
Have you thought about reaching out to rescues to see if they would be interested in using some of these products on their dogs and cats?
Oh yeah, we donate a lot of product.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Donate enrichment products. We make a lot of rubber treat dispensers as well. We donate a lot of those.
Oh, we'd be interested in those too.
Yeah.
A lot of shelters.
Yeah, I was looking at some of that. Yeah. And we do have a lot. We had a client yesterday, Courtney and Brenda, they have 3 cats and a greyhound. So we see this a lot.
We do
In fact,
see that
the
a lot.
dogs usually are the peacemakers. Like they'll say, uh-oh, we got a tiff coming, and the 2 cats come, and this dog stands in between them like, I'm Switzerland, can't get through. So, we do a lot of multi-species households that are dealing with both. And a lot of the cat people have big dogs too. So they need
So
the
weird. Are you working on anything new?
House,
What about your
house? We've got 2 dogs and 2 cats now.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to feed the cats dry food, which they loved. But there were some health issues related to that around hydration and so on.
Right.
So we've switched them to cat food. And now we have one cat that insists on eating our dog's food. So we have to protect the dog bowl from the cat because she prefers the kibble.
That's funny.
hysterical. I've never had that problem. My dog tries to eat my
Usually
cat's food,
the
but my
other
cats
way.
have never tried to eat my dog's
Right.
food. So
Exactly.
I don't know. That does make it a little tougher.
Is there anything new you're looking to make? Are you guys working on any super secret new products?
He's not going to
We
tell us
are
if they're super
always
secret,
working
Well,
on.
just our listeners, that's all.
right?
We're-
We won't tell anyone, Adam. We'll keep it.
Well, so one of the things we do differently is this is getting a little wonky from a business perspective, but because of my background in footwear and apparel, where there's a kind of a fashion cadence of constantly introducing new products.
Mhm.
That's how you get people to come back in and buy more, is to show them new things.
Yeah.
Pet industry is, particularly in this category and in the toy category, is pretty slow moving. And
Mhm.
so what we've tried to do using social media is we drop new products pretty much every month. And so we're constantly putting new things out there,
Love
and
that.
we're almost exclusively focused on enrichment right now, because well, we've got so many ideas that we want to bring to life.
Right.
So the answer is yes. I can't tell you exactly what we're working on.
We
There-
promised we'd
There will
keep it
be more
between us.
e-mats, more e-coins, more e-trays, more e-bowls, just
Good.
fun new designs.
We
Well,
need them.
You have to come back on and when you have some of those new products available, so
Yes.
we can
Oh, for
tell
sure.
everyone about them.
Yes.
And so
Would
we
love
can try
Yes.
them out too.
Yes. No kidding. Well, I know we're going to be writing to that client about those bowls, because
For sure.
I'm telling you, you just can't. Anxiety, confidence building, enrichment, crazy anxiety, crazy high energy cats who are scarfing and barfing. Even if you only have one
That's
cat,
what
you're
I
not
use it
stealing
for.
anybody's. Yes, they
I-
eat so fast it can't go down.
My Smoochie does that. Again, she's got a little brain damage. So every now and then she'll decide to wolf it down so fast that it comes right back out. So that's helped her a lot using the lick
Yeah.
mat.
Yeah,
Of
we
course, the other
appreciate not
cats come
cleaning that
over
up.
and they kind of like, what are you, they're interested in what she's doing. So it might be fun to feed them all that way.
Yes, yeah, and keep them all busy for a while.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we tell people when they're doing interactions with their cats, we give them this slow build up. And then when you're ready to bring them into the room, we tell them, lay down all the distractions in the world, right? Put this on
And
the
that would be
TV,
one.
lay out all the toys. Yes. Load up your lick mat, lay it on the floor. I mean, we want every distraction so that the cats can be in the same room, but not bother each other and get used to that peaceful coexistence. And we always talk
Right.
about high value rewards, something the cat really likes, to make a positive note and connection with that animal. So, ooh, I get my favorite wet food
Mhm.
while that animal's in the room. Yeah, maybe they're not so bad. So, we have a lot of uses for your lick mats. And
Well,
now
this
we're
is
going to add
great.
those bowls, because those are amazing, especially with the
Yeah.
whisker stress. That's a big thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a whole new category. We just kind of made that up.
I love it.
We were sitting around thinking, what else could we do that's never been done that might solve a problem for people? And, it's made of a harder material, so it can't be chewed
Yeah.
up, but it's not too deep.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it's a cat or a dog, every animal is different. And so there's really not a one size fits all.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're trying to create enough diversity
Mhm.
in the product types, and then layer in just really fun designs that are
Yes.
both functional as well as really fun.
And fun. Yes.
Yeah.
We
I
like
think
the
we're
aesthetic
succeeding.
help, right? Like, we want a little
Well,
something extra.
the reality is that these are things that you put on your floor in your kitchen or wherever you're feeding them. So, it's something you have to look at. So why shouldn't it be attractive?
Right?
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
That
and
is
I'm
true.
all over those holiday designs. And I will tell any follower out there, if you're not aware of whisker stress, let me ask you a question. When you feed your cat, do you ever find a hole in the center of the bowl where the food is gone and the food's all around the outside of the bowl, and you're
Mhm.
like, Fluffy, for Pete's sakes, why don't you eat that? And you gotta put them together
You
and stuff.
gotta,
That's
yeah.
because of whisker stress. They don't like their whiskers touching the sides of the bowl, so they're eating out of the center, which is why you need to go to sodapup.com
Yeah.
and solve your problem.
I have to
Because-
walk around with the wet, I have 16 cats. They each get their own little bowl. But after I feed them, I've got to walk around and do that. Make sure that the stuff on the edge goes to the middle. With the lick mat, I wouldn't have to do that.
Exactly. Yes. And it was so easy to do. And yeah, and they cleaned it up really well. And it's very easy to clean. I was surprised. I just squirted a little soap and used the pressure washer thing on to
The
spray it. And it was perfectly clean. So it was very, very easy. And they're
Sounds good.
dishwasher safe. So yeah, we're big fans and we're promoting them all over the place because they're really great for solving problems.
Right.
So
We
we're
have to
very
start.
happy at you.
We have to start wrapping up a little bit. But Adam, is there anything else you'd like to tell our listeners?
You know, it's just, this is really fun for me because, you know, I think enrichment is so new.
Mhm.
There's so many people, whether you're a dog owner or a cat owner. So I just think that there's a tremendous amount of discovery happening
Yes.
right now throughout the
Yes.
pet loving world.
Bella came to join us. She says thank you.
Yes, yes.
And I think we're going to learn a lot more in the coming years. So
Oh, yeah.
that will inform new product designs.
Yes.
There's
Yeah,
always
we're
room
always
for
learning.
enrichment. Always room with cats and dogs both.
Yes. And you know, it's hard. Some toys, you know, my cat may go insane over this toy. And I'm like, oh, every cat loves this toy. And we always find that one cat that doesn't like that toy.
Sure.
But they all like their food. I mean, even the ones that aren't really
Right.
food motivated, they're going to eat their food. So this is one form of enrichment. We get a lot of people that it's really hard to get my cat to play, or they'll only play for 2 minutes and then they wander away with their little ADD selves. They're not going to walk away from their food real quick. So
That's true. That
this
is
is
very
guaranteed.
true.
Yes. And
Well-
made in the USA, veteran-owned business. I mean, we love everything about you.
We do.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
definitely
having me
do.
on. It's been great talking with you and
Thank
I
you
learning
for
from you
coming
as
on.
well.
I even
Yes.
love the name Soda Pup.
Yes.
That's cute.
Yes,
Pup.
it is. Soda Pup. Soda Pup. Yes, that was smart. That was very smart.
Well,
So-
you're welcome back anytime, Adam. Anytime.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And we have to wrap up here. The half hour goes so fast.
Yes, it always
No
does.
kidding.
I
Oh,
know. Thank you so much for coming by. And Linda, as always, thank you for being my ride or die.
always, baby.
And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Mark Winter for giving us this spot on Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio station in the world.
In the world.
What is it we always say? Every day is Catterday. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.